Hi, my name is Kira and welcome to my life. I would like to firstly apologize for going MIA after saying that I wouldn't, but I have no excuse. I just kind of forgot because I have been active on all my other social medias, so sorry about that. However, today I am back and we're going to be doing a bit of editing. You're going to edit with me, or I'm going to be editing while I talk at you, because I don't know how to screen record my laptop, or correction, I do, but the quality of the video is horrid. And so until I find a software that can record my screen in a quality that I approve of, I will not be doing that. But I'm going to be editing and we're going to be discussing just a few things. So let's get into the video. For those of you that don't know, or that weren't paying attention a second ago, I've switched softwares from Final Cut Pro to like Adobe Premiere Pro. So like I now have all the Adobe Creative Cloud software and stuff, which is honestly worth the investment if you're going to be doing any kind of like editing across multiple platforms, or just anything where you're going to want to maybe like copyright it or something. I think it's an important investment to be able to do all that stuff, and Adobe does that for me. Open please. I'm gonna start with Lightroom because I've got a small batch of photos that I would like to edit before I go to sleep, because it is 11 o'clock at night. But I'm gonna edit this batch of photos really fast and then we're gonna switch to Photoshop. But while I'm editing this picture, we're gonna talk about where have I been. Well, I had a lot planned, as I was talking about in my last video, like short films and scripts and internships. However, COVID kind of messed all of that up. So it's kind of hard to do something when the entire country is shut down, or when, I think it just started raining, or when social distancing is implemented, because you do not want to put yourself or someone else at risk, obviously, because we can be asymptomatic. Sorry. Editing and talking is a very difficult task at times, purely because I'm thinking about more than just the words that I'm going to say, the words that I want to say. I'm also thinking about how to edit this photo and whether or not I like it this saturated, or if I want to add this film feature over it. And I do think I'm going to make it kind of grainy just to add a bit, because it is kind of, it gives me that kind of vibe. And you guys can't even see the photo, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But that's okay, because you will be seeing the photo. That brings us on to our second topic, how I've been active on all of my other social medias. I have been active on a lot of my other social medias. I do feel bad saying that, but a lot of them are just a lot less time consuming than YouTube, because with the YouTube video I have to like physically sit down, think out my words, plan out my words, and because I have a bit of a scatterbrain and I have a tendency to jump from one topic to another, as I just did, unless I have talking points written down. And I do have talking points written down so I don't get scatterbrained, because I am doing two things at once, and I'm doing two things that do not coincide with each other at once, because editing and talking is a very dangerous game, especially right now, because I'm cropping this image and I'm just going to hope that I did it correctly. Not that I did it correctly, but I'm gonna like it when I'm done editing it. I'm satisfied with that. Speaking of the photos that I'm editing, the day, I don't know if this is gonna be the day of this video or the day after this video, I will have a second account. It's going to be my photography, videography, cinematography account. Not that like my personal account isn't, but it's going to be more so focused on like the things that I create versus just, you know, me. So I'm gonna put the @ somewhere while I do this, and then we're gonna move on to the next photo. Editing photos takes longer than I think people realize, and I think it's because people have this like idea that photography is easy, when it's really not. Like, have you seen the National Geographic photographers take pictures? It's insane. Like, I could never. Like, I thought I wanted to do that because I love landscape photography. However, I just could not. Some of the things they do, like the pictures that they get, are just so amazing and like just immaculate. And then you see how they got that picture, and I just could not be me. I mean, it could be, but I just could not. All right, now that this photo's done, what was I on about? Oh, National Geographic photographers. They're amazing, honestly. Photographers in general, like from what I've learned, like what I've been learning, and a lot of like my peers, they're just fantastic. Like photography is really just, everyone has their own different style, and it's fascinating to learn from everyone else. But speaking of my accounts, if you follow my personal account on Instagram or Twitter, then you're probably wondering like what's up with all the activism, because I have been opening my loud mouth to say a lot about what's going on with the current political climate and things like that. And that's because for the first 17 and a half years of my life, I was like afraid of being perceived as the angry black girl, because for some reason that's like a negative stereotype that's associated with black women. And then I realized I have a right to be angry because they keep killing people for no reason. And like, if you're not upset about that, then you're not a person, because people shouldn't be dying for no reason. Or like just because of, you know, their sexuality, their religion, their race, just like things like that are basic human qualities. No one deserves to die for that. And so, yeah, I've started like posting and speaking out more about it. And I'm gonna say this now. If you are a Trump supporter, I recommend that you unsubscribe and unfollow me, because I am not a nice person to Trump supporters. I have no respect for you as a human being, because you have no respect for other human beings. And while I do believe that, you know, karma and God and like all that stuff exists, sometimes I believe that karma needs a little bit of help. And I will yell at you and you're for being ignorant fascist. I will yell at you. So if you support Trump, I advise that you unsubscribe. And if you try to comment something about how I'm uneducated, I will go off on you. So that being said, I finished this batch of photos and we are going to now move to Photoshop. That was a bit of a rant, but I felt like that was something that needed to be said, because I have been doing a bit of a rebrand and involving part of my rebrand is going to be, I'm going to speak my mind, because I'm going to be dead soon. And like, that sounds like a bad thing to say, but like, life is temporary, and I'm not going to spend my life complying to make other people happy, especially if that person does not care about my own happiness. I'm not going to care about their happiness in return. If they choose to inform me of their opinions, I can inform them of mine back, because that is what the First Amendment is for. It is the right to free speech, religion, and most important, assembly, which is protesting. And people are getting arrested for protesting right now. So we're headed towards a fascist country, and I really hope everyone's aware of that. So you guys need to be getting ready to vote, because the election is coming up. And if Cinnamon Hitler gets elected again, democracy in this country as we know it will be abolished. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So I don't care if you don't like Biden. You need to vote for Biden if you care about democracy and your own personal rights, because I'm not trying to live in Nazi Germany, and I don't think you are either. That being said, let's talk about what I'm doing on Photoshop. I have designed, actually you can probably see it on the screen, my logo for the photography account, the switch, but my logo for the photography account is the Cheshire Cat with the Mad Hatter's hat, and then, you know, the card symbols, because I have a love for Alice in Wonderland, and Alice in Wonderland has influenced my life heavily. In that, like, the books, the movies, everything. I just love Alice in Wonderland. I love the concept of Wonderland. I love Wonderland. Take a shot every time I said Wonderland. But, just something in my eye. But that being said, this logo is inspired by Wonderland, because a lot of the work that I do, photography-wise or cinematography, directing-wise, is going to be Wonderland inspired, because I don't think there's a way for me to avoid having Wonderland as an inspiration with how big of a part it's played in my life. File, save as. But, I do have two logos. The other logo is probably in the bottom right corner, or wherever logos go on YouTube. And that is probably going to be the one that you see most often, because that is the one that people consider to be a bit more like a mass appeal logo, so that one's going to be the one that is probably seen more often than the Cheshire Cat one. However, that logo is my initials, or my chosen initials, because that's not, I feel like I need to clarify, Kira Ricard is not my government name. It's a part of my name, but it's not my name. But it's my initials in the Tim Burton Wonderland font. I know it's the Nightmare Before Christmas font, but I associate it with Wonderland because he directed both live action Alice in Wonderland movies. And if I have one goal in life, it's probably going to be to direct a movie alongside Tim Burton, because no one does like the dark, eerie, unsettling kind of films like he does. Like Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland, Frankenweenie. I'd say Frankenweenie because that movie got so much hate for no reason. Did he even direct that, or am I just like upset that that movie got hate and I love it? I'm like, let me see. Yep, he did direct it. I know my directors. I have a problem with like just knowing who directed random movies, and this is something that I didn't discover about myself until I started watching movies and I realized I knew who directed them just like off the top of my head. It's a weird skill that I adapted for quite literally no reason. But aside from the logos, because that's what I was talking about before I went off on a tangent, I strayed from the talking points and this is what happened. Jeez. So what now? Well, I'm going to do my best to maintain this channel. So my goal is hopefully within the next month and a half to have my first short film up on this channel, because I've written a couple and I've just got to get them produced and made and directed. I need to direct them because that's kind of the point. I also need to finish my college applications. And if you really want like content that's like stuff that I create and not just me, you should follow my photography account because I'm going to be really, really active on there. But if you just want me being like this, but more and like less censored, I keep saying the word like, and if I say the word like one more time, I'm going to stab myself. But if you want a less censored version of me, you should follow me on TikTok, because TikTok is where I just kind of, as most people do, because it is a very fun platform to have and be on. Oh, speaking of platforms, I am very excited though, because I've decided to kind of just like stop caring about, well, you know, everything else besides just making stuff that I want to make. Because if this video does go live on the day my photography account gets activated, then you'll see that like it's actually up here too. A bit of a life motto for me is like memento mori, which means remember that you will die. And it's like not a negative thing. It's more of like just a reminder that life is short and you should live it to the fullest. And I don't have time to like care about other people's opinions. I just don't. Which sounds bad, but I don't understand why people are so obsessed with like prioritizing someone else's happiness over your own, when in your life it's your life. Like, that's just never made sense to me. But that being said, I am going to upload this to Behance. Oh, I have Adobe software now, so I do use the Adobe Behance platform to upload like my works in progress if you want to see things that I'm working on before I actually upload them anywhere else. That's going to include this YouTube video. Snippets of that are probably going to be up there. And I do have like, I rarely post like actual stuff, but if you want to see the rough draft of my prior logos and the ones that didn't get chosen, those are probably up still. And I don't know, I might start posting more on there too, just because it's a platform specifically created for art dumps. So I think I'm gonna start posting there more as well. But we're gonna put these things in a folder, replace. We're gonna put these in a folder, close my laptop, and do this outro. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below, and you can let me know what other videos you'd like to see, because I do read all your comments. Oh, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up too. it's been so long I forgot my outro, so I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna hope that I didn't forget anything, even though I know that I did. So